Oh, and so I am finally reviewing Guardians of the Galaxy 2. So I just got finished with this movie a couple weeks ago, so it's still fresh in my head, so I might as well speak about it while it's still fresh in my head. And I just rewatched this movie last night too, so here's what the rundown of this is. So we got five good things, hey buddy, five bad things about this movie, which I normally do. I do five good things, five bad things about a movie, so I can get people's a general idea of what to expect in a movie and what to not like about this movie that you're probably not gonna like about this movie. So let's start with the five bad things first of all. The number one bad thing is ow, he bit me. A dog bit me. Go over there. Go over there. Go, buddy. Okay, so anyways, the number one bad thing. I felt like the first movie was a little better, but that's just a opinion of mine. This is not a bad movie in any sense at all. I just felt really that the first movie was just better. That's just one of my complaints. Is one bad thing about it. The second bad thing is we the movie spends a lot of time on a planet called Iowa or Echo. I think that's what the name of the planet was. I kept hearing it but forgot. So, and that's what bothers me about this movie versus the other movie. The other movie we got to go to a lot of different places, where in this movie we were only able to be in one general place. And so this movie takes place in basically one planet, and before that, at the beginning, we go from like these golden people. I forgot what their names were. And you can call me an idiot all you want, saying like, "Oh, how do you not know the source material? Not know this, that, guys." I'm a comic book fan, but I did not read Guardians of the Galaxy before I saw these movies. I didn't even know they were actually a comic book of them. I watch a lot of things, but it's okay to not know everything about a source material. No, I don't know all the names of all the characters. It's okay. Hold on. Hey, buddy. Hold on. Let's go, buddy. Stay here. Sorry, my dog wants to play with me. I'll play with him after this. So, anyways, number one was I felt the first movie was better. Number two, I generally felt that it limited the movie by really the movie focusing on one planet. Although the movie does go in different directions. Rocket Raccoon goes in a different direction. We do spend a time on a couple other planets, but 80% in this movie is spent on another planet. So that did kind of bother me just a little bit. Number three thing that bothered me. Now, I said I didn't read the source material, but I do know about Star-Lord. In the comic, this guy, I think it's Russell Crowe's character. Is it not Russell Crowe? Not Russell Crowe. Oh my god, I forgot his name. I'm really bad at remembering people's names, but the guy that plays, Kurt Russell. I called him Kurt Russell Crowe. I feel like such an idiot. It's Kurt Russell, right? Okay. So Kurt Russell, character plays his dad in this movie, and I honestly, like I said, I didn't read the original source material, but I do know that the fact that in the comic that is not who his dad is. His dad's name is Jason Jodson, whatever. And the director felt like that needed to change. I don't know why that needed to change. I don't think we could have made this movie and not it be about Star-Lord's dad. That didn't need to be his dad. I don't know why that had to be his dad. I don't know why they had to change that. So it did bother me a little bit. I just wish they kind of stuck to Star-Lord's original dad. Like I said, I didn't really read Guardians of the Galaxy that much, but I know for a fact that that's not his dad in the comic. So there you go. Number three, Sylvester Stallone's in this movie, but he only has a minor part. Now, I do like Sylvester Stallone as an actor, but I just didn't see why he was only in this movie for like two scenes. If you're going to introduce a big actor like Sylvester Stallone, I don't know. I don't know why he was only on there briefly. It's just one of the things that bothered me. So I just had to mention it. Fourth thing, for some reason, I felt that Rocket Raccoon was kind of pushed to the side of the movie. Yeah, he does play a pivotal role in the movie. He does get shown a lot in this movie, but I kind of felt that they didn't show more of Rocket Raccoon. I think he's one of the best characters out of all of them in this movie and in the last movie. So I don't know why he was pushed to the side, but I do like the banter between him and Star-Lord. Number five, the five worst thing about this movie is there is a lot of CGI and a lot of special effects. There's a lot to take in. Now, I'm not saying this as a bad thing, and I'm not saying this is a good thing, but when you have a movie that is heavy special CGI, you're gonna have issues, and that doesn't make this movie bad, but this movie is heavily CGI, and most of the time it's decent, but at the same time you can tell that it's not as good as it should be, and it only happens in a few scenes where the CGI is noticeably bad. But that's not really the movie's fault in a way, because the Guardians of the Galaxy story takes place in space, and when you're in space, especially in this type of movie genre, you're gonna have special effects. So it's not really their fault. They have to be in space, and it is special effects oriented. So if you're the type of person that doesn't like too much CGI, you're not gonna like this movie. There is a lot of CGI in this movie, and most of the time it's good, sometimes it's bad. Okay, now let's get to the good things. One, the action's great in this movie. There's a lot of good action scenes, and it really plays well when there's music playing in the background. There's even a little joke that Rocket Raccoon says, "Hey, do you have one of his music on the ship?" And he plays the music while he goes and shoots up the ship. So the action in this movie is really good. The music is good. That's number two. The music is great in this movie, especially if you're a fan of this type of music, old 80s, 70s classic like rock music. It's one of the best musics for a movie soundtrack you'll ever have. And that's what I like about this series, is that they did a good creative job of bringing this music genre to this film, and it makes this film fun and a little campy, but fun. And not campy in a bad way, but it is fun. Number three, I do like the fact that they make Groot a baby in this movie, and it does lead to a lot of comical scenes, because this movie is really funny, and I think Groot is probably one of the best characters in this movie. So number three is Groot. I think Groot does a great job in this movie as a funny character, as a funny, cute character, if you like those type of characters. And still going on number three, this movie is really... What I'm trying to say, this movie does have a lot of good characters, especially with Dave Bautista's Drax. I'm not sure if I said his name right. Don't butcher me. I had a lot of names to remember lately. So there are good, memorable characters in this movie, and like Groot, they're all lovable, they're all fun to be around. So let's get to number four. Even though I mentioned that the number three is we have good, memorable characters, as I said with number three, and this goes to number four, that this movie is generally funny. There's a lot of good, funny comical scenes in this movie. Not only does it have great action, not only does it have good music, not only does it have good characters, but they are very smart on their humor in this movie, and most of it is really subtle. And I've had a lot of people, some people complain about the comedy in the last movie, like why would they do this and that. In the end, I just let the movie speak for itself. If it's funny, it's not, and not. And there was a few jokes in the movie where I didn't laugh at all, but there's a lot of jokes in the movie where I did laugh, and most of them has to do with Drax character. Like, just about every single Drax line in this movie, I laughed my ass off. I couldn't hold it in. Like, I thought Rocket Raccoon would be the funny one, but Drax definitely stole the show with the humor. The number fifth good thing about this movie is that this movie, ironically, has a good moral point. It has a lot of good moral points, and most of it has to do with God versus man. And like I said, I didn't really like the fact that they changed Star-Lord's dad in this movie. I think they could have went without that part, but they have a good aspect and a good reference on the whole God versus man concept. So basically, in this movie, Kurt Russell's characters, he wants to replace the universe with people like him, with celestials like him. And at first, Star Lord is accepting of this, but when Kurt Russell starts mentioning basically your friends are gonna die and but everyone else is gonna be like us, and that you're a god now. But as soon as he mentions that he killed his mom, Star Lord, he just goes crazy over this guy. So in a way, this movie has a good creepiness to it as far as the whole concept of God versus man thing. Is when basically Kurt Russell's God character, the Celestial, wants to replace humans. It goes from a nice father son moment between the two characters to like, oh my god, you want to kill everybody. So Kurt Russell's character, in a way, like his character comes off as so humble, so cheery, but that's what's creepy about it. Like Kurt Russell does a good job with this performance, and I was surprised on the subtlety of how creepy this was. Like, oh, so you want to kill all of humanity? Oh, I killed your mom too. But he's so cool about it. He is like not showing any type of aggression, and that's what I thought was creepy about this character, that this celestial wants to kill all humans, but he's doing it in a nonchalant way. Like, this character is not a typical movie villain. He's not a typical villain where like, oh, I'm gonna destroy the universe, blah blah blah. I'm gonna, crush the universe. I'm gonna do this and the world's gonna blow up, whatever. No, this character, he's so cool about it and so nonchalant. Like, oh yeah, I replaced all this everything with with me. So, anyways, guys, my dog is freaking out over there, so I gotta go help him. So, yeah, there are 5 good things and 5 bad things. And on a scale on 1 to 10, do I think this movie... what do I give this movie? I give this movie a 9. Yeah, that's right. I give this movie a 9. It's not one of the best movies I've ever seen, but a 9 is definitely good up there. It's funny. It has actions to it, and it has good subtlety with the God versus man concept. I thought that was creepy. On a grade scale from A to Z, I'll give it a B. So, like I said, it's not one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. I do think the original Guardians of the Galaxy movie was a little better. But this movie was fun. It had a lot of fun moments, and I would definitely see this again. So as I keep saying to people, I don't have a lot of movies where I rewatch something over again. It takes a lot for me to want to rewatch a movie, and this movie would definitely be on my list. Like, I would rewatch this movie at least once or twice a year. Just grab it, pop that sucker right in there, and just watch it. But the thing is, and here's the ultimate question. Would I buy this movie? Probably not. I would rather wait till this movie went on Netflix or something. Just something. I don't think I would really have a desire to go buy this movie. And there's not, but then again, I'm a hard person to please. There's not many movies I would really consider going to buy, so that's not really a bad thing. I'm not saying anything bad about this movie. I just wouldn't go out and buy it. I would see it in the theater. It is a good theater movie, and yeah, so I wouldn't buy it. I would see it in the theater though. It's really worth it, and that's it. I still think the first one was better, but this movie is at least decent, and it has a good moral story to it, and it's funny and it has action. So anyways, guys, this is Matthew Scooby. I gotta go because my dog's freaking out. So peace out.